Well, here we are.
Yeah. What time tomorrow?
About 1.
Okay. See you at the pool?
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Hi, Mom.
Janie, dear, you're home. How do you feel?
Fine.
Did you have a nice time?
Uh-huh.
Did you do any painting?
Finished this.
Oh, Janie. That's beautiful.
I like it, too.
Oh, darling, that reminds me. I bought some flowers for tonight. Would you arrange them for me before the guests arrive? You do it so well.
Mom, will it be okay if I take my bath first? I feel kind of icky.
Oh, sure, darling.
Are you still menstruating?
A little. Did you buy the sanitary napkins for me today?
Mm-hmm, they're on your bed. Now, you just go take a nice bath, and you can fix the flowers later.
Bye, thanks.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, dear.
Did you see that dress at the teen shop?
What dress?
The one that was pale yellow with flowers across here and a sash in the back?
Oh, I know the one.
Oh, Mom, could I have it?
Libby, where would you wear a dress like that?
I'm as old as Jean, and she wears clothes like that.
Oh, come here, Libby. Jean is more developed than you are, dear. You still have your little girl looks and shape.
I know, but we're the same age.
But you're two different people. Some girls grow up sooner than others. Some not till they're 15 or 16.
I hope I won't have to wait that long.
I'm sure you won't, dear. Before you know it, a most important thing will happen.
What's that?
You'll begin to menstruate. Do you know what that means?
It means you can have a baby.
That's right. So your body prepares for it.
What do you mean?
Well, your body makes a warm, soft place out of blood and tissue for a baby to grow. And when there is no baby, the body gets rid of this blood and tissue through the lower part of the body.
That's menstruating?
Uh-huh. And once it starts, it'll happen every month for a period of a few days. That's why it's sometimes also called the period.
I don't know if I'll like it.
Oh, why, Libby, you said you couldn't wait to grow up.
I know, but it's kind of scary.
Oh, not at all, sweetheart. It's completely natural. It's part of being a girl. I'm sure that once you understand it, you'll see there's nothing scary about it. Come on, let me show you something.
I know, sanitary napkins.
Go ahead and open them.
I've seen them in my magazines.
Would you like to learn how to use them?
I guess I'd better.
All right. You'll need this sanitary belt, too, to hold them in place. It goes around your waist under your panties. Then, you put the short end of the napkin through the front fastener. And the longer end through the fastener in the back. See?
But won't it leak through?
No. The napkin absorbs the menstrual flow, so there's nothing to worry about. And, Libby, see this blue polyethylene on the bottom and sides?
Uh-huh.
That's a special moisture-proof shield to prevent accidents. Besides, you should change to a fresh napkin every 3 or 4 hours.
What do I do with the one I take off? Flush it down?
No. You wrap it in toilet tissue or a paper towel and throw it in the wastebasket.
But, Mom, suppose it happens at school or someplace where I don't have this.
You look in the restroom. If there's not a napkin dispenser there, you ask the nurse or a teacher. Oh, and Libby, I bought you this. It's a special sanitary panty you might want to try instead of the belt. The napkin fits right inside. You might find it more comfortable than the belt. The elastic loops hold the napkin in place.
Gee, Mom, they look just like my regular panties. Gee, thanks. Wow, we sure had some important talk.
Wow, I'll say we did. Oh, honey, you might want to keep the things in this drawer. Then they'll be handy for whenever you want them.
That's a good idea.
Hey, You better scoot off to the pool, huh?
Yeah, I don't want to be late.
Hi, Libby.
Hi, Jean. How's the water?
Oh, it's okay.
Guess what?
What?
Boy, did I have some talk with my mother.
What about?
Menstruation.
Oh, that.
What do you mean, oh, that?
Nothing.
Well, you knew about it before?
Sure.
How long?
About a year.
Do you?
Do I what?
Menstruate.
Of course, Billy.
How come you never told me?
I don't know. I always felt it was kind of personal. And besides, it's nothing special. It happens to every girl.
What happens to every girl?
Womanhood.
Oh, you mean the curse.
What do you call it?
The curse. You know, being unwell.
Why do you call it that?
I don't know. Some people do. Hey, come on. Let's go swimming.
No.
You go. We'll be in later.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye. Oh, that's an icky word. My mother
Yeah.
called it menstruation.
Mine does, too. I guess we're kind of lucky.
You mean to learn about it from them?
Yeah.
But I guess you really don't know what it's like till it happens to you.
Come on, let's go swimming.
Okay.
Oh, I'm glad the shopping's finished. It was so crowded in the stores.
Guess what, Mom?
You're menstruating.
How did you know?
Oh, I expected it. How do you feel?
All right, I guess.
You don't seem, quite as bubbly as usual. Are you sure you feel like bowling?
I'm all right.
Well, you're right, I guess. There's no need to mope around just because you're menstruating. But don't overdo,
Okay, I won't.
Whenever they could get together, they talked things over. So naturally, Libby told Jean that she was menstruating for the first time. Jean could tell that Libby was feeling uncertain, a little unsure of herself. So she suggested that Libby might rather not bowl. But you know Libby, to her any sport was a challenge.
I promised that today we would discuss what it means to grow up. Well, some of you may already know something about it, but it's important to have a thorough knowledge so you realize there's nothing frightening or embarrassing about leaving childhood and entering young womanhood. You'll understand better if you know something about how you got to be a girl. So let's begin by examining the facts of birth. Now, actually, each of you began life about 9 months before you were born as a microscopic living organism, a single cell that resulted from the joining together of 2 other cells, one from your mother and one from your father. This little cell found a safe shelter in your mother's body, in a soft, blood-rich organ called the uterus. There, it divided into more cells until finally there are millions of tiny cells growing into a baby. And that baby lived in your mother's uterus for about 9 months until you were born. Then you grew up into the big girl you are today. Of course, you still have your little girl looks, but not for long. You are approaching adolescence. A gland called the pituitary begins to encourage different parts of your body to turn into that of a woman. Little by little, each one of you growing differently in height, weight, and bone structure. Your breasts will begin to develop, getting rounder and fuller. Your hips will fill out, taking on softer, more womanly contours. And a soft growth of hair will appear under your arms and in the pubic area. Your body will awaken internally, and those organs that make you uniquely a girl will begin to develop too. There are 2 ovaries, 2 narrow passageways called the fallopian tubes, and the uterus. And they're all surprisingly small. The uterus, not more than the size of a pear. The ovaries, not more than the size of walnuts. Then there's the vagina, the passage from the uterus to the outside of your body. As you approach your womanhood, these organs begin to function, and your very first menstrual cycle begins. The ovaries release an ovum, a single egg cell which finds its way into one of the fallopian tubes. Very slowly, this little egg cell travels through this tube toward the uterus. But before it gets there, the uterus prepares for it, builds up a special lining of blood and tissue, so that this little egg cell can grow into a baby if it were fertilized by a male cell. Now, if the egg is not fertilized, the special lining of blood and tissue is not needed and flows out of the body through the vagina along with the egg itself. This is the menstrual flow, the monthly breaking up of the special lining of the uterus. And when it's over, the whole process begins all over again. Your body prepares to release another egg cell. Your uterus prepares to receive it. And when fertilization does not take place, you menstruate again. The total flow is a rather small amount, lasting rarely less than 2 days, nor more than 6. This total process is called the menstrual cycle and lasts about 28 days. That's why you menstruate about every 28 days. Of course, in the beginning, until your body gets used to it, your periods may not be regular. This is not unusual. But give yourself time to get accustomed to this new experience. And before long, it will seem as natural as all the other days of the month. And let a calendar help you. Use it to keep a monthly record of your periods. There's a calendar for this purpose in the back of this little booklet, Growing Up and Liking It. As well as instructions for using it, and lots of other helpful information. Later, I'll give you each a copy before you leave. But now, one thing more I want to discuss. The importance of looking and feeling your best, not only during your menstrual period, but all month long. You may feel free to interrupt and ask questions if you like. Jody?
What if your hair needs washing during your period?
Wash it, but don't walk around with a wet head. Dry it quickly and thoroughly. Remember, clean hair and skin help prevent blemishes. Nancy?
What about bathing?
Jean, what do you say to that?
You can do it every day.
Right. A bath or shower every day, especially when you're menstruating, is certainly very important because you tend to perspire a bit more during that period. So, bathe, use a deodorant, change your underwear every day, and your sanitary napkins often, at least every 3 or 4 hours.
Mrs. Cooper, what about sports?
During your menstrual period, you can do almost anything you're used to doing on other days. If you're used to bicycling, bicycle. If you dance, dance. Just keep as busy and active as always. But just don't overexert till you're tired out, Libby.
Is it true that some girls have cramps when they're menstruating?
Some girls have them, some girls don't. If you do, don't be alarmed. They pass rather quickly. There's a helpful exercise for easing the cramps in this little booklet I told you about.
Mrs. Cooper spies Libby and wonders why she isn't skating. When Libby explains that she has her period, her teacher doesn't think that's a reason for sitting on the sidelines. Libby admits she really doesn't want to miss the fun. Besides, she feels better now that Mrs. Cooper has reassured her. But she remembers how important it is not to overdo, and soon finds that she's having fun. She has even forgotten that she was ever angry with Jean, and realizes it was a good day in more ways than one.
Gee, Mom, I had a good time today. I don't mean just skating. When I went bowling, and when Jean made me go, I got mad. But now I'm glad, because she was right. You can have fun while you're menstruating, if you understand what's right for you.
I think my little girl is growing up. What was that you asked me about? A yellow dress?
Libby is beginning to understand her feelings and how to cope with them. Now, growing up is all the fun it ought to be. In fact, if right this minute you asked her how she feels about it, she'd say, "It's wonderful being a girl."